basically based on using Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo and Ninjutsu Artist Super Transformation. So you've got to have 3 Hanzos. Basically, you can get a Ninjutsu Art out of your deck if you normal summon him, or if you special summon or flip summon him, then you can get another ninja out.
Yep. So Upstart gets that whole loop going there.
Absolutely. And then you got Upstart Gold Ninja. His power is
drop the trap.
That's exactly right. Trap from the hand, then you can special summon, so you can get out a Hanzo or basically anything except himself. And then maybe you got to do XCs to save your rear or something like that.
Works well.
The other ninja in the deck is the White Dragon Ninja. Now, the only way you can special summon it is with Ninjutsu Art Super Transformation, but you can normal summon it, and when he's on the field, just protects your back row, keeps things from getting popped.
Gets annoying.
Then
Red
you
Eyes.
gotta have Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon if you're gonna do any kind of dragon deck, and there's enough dragons in here that it's profitable. Plus, he's a target for Ninjutsu Art Super Transformation. With how many Light and Darks we got balanced in here, it just makes sense to have BLS in there. And then for the Chaos element, you also got Eclipse Wyvern, yet another target for Super Trans. Axe Dragonute balances out the Light and Dark. Honest. Of course. I mean, you gotta have Honest. Unless they ban him, you gotta have him in any kind of deck that makes use of light monsters.
Yep.
Up here with Eclipse Wyvern, you got Light Pulsar Dragon, another target for Super Trans. You can do all kinds of Chaos loops and things like that. By the same token, Chaos Sorcerer, summoned in the same way, and he's in the same vein as BLS. Doesn't make sense to run 2 Chaos Sorcerers, even though it's allowed, just because not enough targets in the graveyard at any stage in the game for him to be useful.
And really cloggy.
Now the other way you can get your Blue Eyes out is Blue Eyes Maiden, of course. Yep. I mean, staple of any kind of Blue Eyes deck, and then the Blue Eyes themselves. He's the toughest monster I got, and he's why I made this deck.
Became Alti and Ghost, in the gold mine. That's the monster lineup.
As far as spells go, you gotta have Rhoda if you're gonna do anything involving warriors. In fact, I mean, he's basically just another ninja. Then you got 1-for-1 to get your Blue Eyes Maiden out, and hopefully you can put something in the grave either as a Chaos summon target or for something like, for example, Silver's Cry, free Blue Eyes. And by the same token, if you need your dragons in the graveyard for anything, Chaos, Dragon Shrine. Okay.
The fact you run 3 gun, it gives you an extra, just 1 spare to
Absolutely. MSTs, I mean, there's almost no cards in the entire deck that'll do any kind of destruction of any kind. Sometimes you're playing somebody with field cards or something like that, you gotta have MSTs.
Necro Valley.
Absolutely. Necro Valley will prevent anything good from happening in this deck.
And then because you run so many continuous traps.
Absolutely. Magic Planter. There are so many continuous traps in this deck. This deck is made out of continuous traps. In fact, the only trap I have in here is that is not continuous is Solemn.
Well, it's staple because it's annoying.
This will get those continuous traps off the field because they'll remain. They won't destroy themselves after you remove the monster by any means except destruction.
Yep.
So you've got to get them out, and it's a +2. It's basically a trade-in for ninjas.
And traps.
So Ninjutsu Art Super Transformation, they can target dinosaurs, sea serpents, or dragons. But of course, this is working with dragons.
Yep.
And the cool thing about it is it sends the opponent's monster to the graveyard. It doesn't destroy it.
Yamato. Get rid of Yamato.
Exactly. And that's how you get rid of strong monsters on the opponent's side of the field. Or even if it's something weak, you got plenty of targets with low levels that you can bring.
In my opinion, that's the best transformation card they have.
It's the reason that ninjas are actually viable.
Yes.
And then the 2 remaining Ninjutsu arts that you gotta have at least 1 Shadow Ceiling. This is how you get rid of the opponent's monster that is just too tough for you to get over in any kind of other way. You tribute a ninja, and then you banish it until this card is removed from the field.
Helps clear boards to get more power in, attack in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Freezing.
Ninjutsu, Art of Freezing.
Screw Destruction.
This'll at the very least, it'll save you from getting hurt.
Yep.
And then at best, you can pretty much activate it, and if you're in a bind, you can drop a Magic Planter and get +2 off of it.
Free draws.
So, continuous traps, then you gotta have Call the Haunted. There's no reason not to have 3, because you want to recycle monsters as much as possible. Then finally, because of how many large monsters are out there, and especially because of White Dragon Ninja, Save Zone.
Zone.
Save Zone and White Dragon Ninja is basically impenetrable.
Yes.
It's White Dragon Ninja prevents your spells and traps from getting destroyed. Safe Zone prevents the monster from being destroyed. Exactly. The only downfall is, of course, with Safe Zone, you cannot attack directly, which is usually the game winner.
Yeah.
And then finally,
The warning.
Solemn Warning. The only trap in the entire deck that is not continuous, and this is to prevent those combos from happening before they start. Now, as far as the extra deck goes, 2 Azure Eyes Silver Dragons. Doesn't make sense to make 3 because it just doesn't happen that you have the right materials on the field at the same time. However, 2 happens often. And what I like to do is I'll get 1 on the field, and then I'll use something like Silver's Cry to use or Call the Haunted to use the Blue Eyes that are just into the grave form and bring him back before his effective protection takes place. That way you got 2 strong monsters on the field that can't be destroyed.
I always found it funny that his attack and defense are flipped to Blue Eyes. That was just funny for me.
It's a pretty cool gimmick. It implies what its name is and such. Colossal Fighter, just got it off of you. That's right. And all of the level 8 synchros in here are made with Blue Eyes Maiden and White Dragon Ninja. Not often that you'll get Colossal Fighter out.
It works.
We'll see if it happens.
Got that Crimson Blade and just crash it.
At worst, he can get himself back from the grave. Or at best, you get back another Hanzo and maybe do a loop or something if you got a ninjutsu art stashed in your hand.
Or Crimson Blader keeping you. Just hit it with on Crimson Blader and you get it right back.
You're right. Stardust Dragon, same reason. You gotta have Stardust. If you can make it, there's no reason not to have him.
Yep.
Scrap Dragon, same story.
Annoying.
I mean, at worst, you could target himself, or you could target one of those continuous traps that's clogging up the field, and then somebody else's monster.
I was doing a Dragon Unity player. He went Scrap Dragon, popped himself, popped it, then Red Eyes it again and did it again, and it just got annoying because it cleared my board.
I completely understand what you mean. Now, not often, but if you do get 2 Blue Eyes on the field, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. He's a game-winning card to freeze everything else the opponent's got, and then hopefully that's just enough.
Everything else in the deck.
And it usually is. Just a pest, really. Blade Armor Ninja. Anything that uses level 4 warriors has to have Blade Armor Ninja, and he's a ninja himself, so you can use, for example, ninjutsu art of freezing or something like that.
Yep.
Steel Swarm Roach, another splashable rank 4 XEs.
Prophecies and all that on the
And for the same reason, Utopia, if there's space in the extra deck, there's no reason not to have Utopia. He's the toughest, basically, rank 4 XEs there is. There's a reason he's a protagonist card. Queen Dragoon Jin. This card right here has saved me so many times because you can bring back, I mean, just about any dragon that you need. And although you can't necessarily get the effect, you
Blue
can't.
Eyes. Doesn't matter.
Exactly, because you're rarely going to go for the Red Eyes Darkness Metal if you've got the Blue Eyes in the graveyard unless you have something planned.
Yeah.
Usually, I just go for the Blue Eyes, bring them out, and then maybe throw a Maiden out and make another Azure Dragon.
Yep.
Loop it indefinitely. Another rank 4 Excalibur. Totally worth it. If you can make Excalibur, then you should. I mean, at 4,000 attack, an immediate threat that has to be dealt with. If you put them out there, the opponent has to answer it, or else
Gores.
you're going down the road to game.
I got hit with Gores on that when I tried it, and it didn't work very well.
Second Blade Armor Ninja, because why not? There's room for it. And Diamond Dire Wolf. This one will save your rear.
Yes.
This one will save your hide right there. So that's Blue Eyes Ninjas. Basically just a loop of getting Hanzos out there to
And
make
the guy,
Blue Eyes.
the owner of this unique deck is right here, David.
What's up?
And it's quite a